Hello everyone, and welcome to some F2 online carnage. So this video is pretty much exactly as it says on the tin then, F1 2019 game, F2 cars online in the brand new patch. Big shout out to Tiametmarduk as well for inviting me to his lobby, and also big shout out to him for making me start from the back of the grid pretty much every single race. So cheers for that, Ben. Let's get into it. Here we go then on the grid for our first race in Silverstone. As I said, pretty much at the back of the grid, car 17 of 18. We've got Ben Tiametmarduk just behind us and get a pretty good launch off the grid. I find most people tend to bog down in these cars, so keep a lot of revs up and you tend to get a much better start all the way up to P14, then coming to the first turn, trying to be a little bit cautious. Everyone runs so deep though. We actually make a bit of contact there, try and go on the outside, but get pushed way out wide, right onto the grass. Get a warning for that for some reason as well. Nice cautious braking once again. We don't want to be creaming into the side of someone, but we've got a spinner here, and oh wow. Wow. For some reason it didn't ghost. I don't really quite understand the ghosting system in this game. You can switch ghosting on and off, but ghosting, even when it's on, surely if this car stopped in the middle of the track, they should ghost. That's a bit extreme. But yeah, not an ideal start. We're still at P12 or P18 then. Skipping just to a little bit later in that lap, as we see someone running very wide there. David quit, running right off the track. We managed to, actually has a spin as well. We managed to get past him nice and easy. We've got GFV Far up next for P10, trying to fight our way back up through this grid. Then we've got 5 laps in this particular race. We'll do some 3-lap races towards the end as well. And all over the back of him here, just trying to find a way through the gears. No DRS yet, of course, but it looks like he ran a little bit wide there, cost himself some straight line speed. I think he might have gone on the grass potentially. We want to be around the outside. We need to brake very late to try and make this move stick, but we are doing it so fast. The car stopped on the outside of the track. There's another car going very slow on the inside here. We managed to make the move stick nicely, but okay, good. Actually ended up getting a well, not a penalty, but again a warning that we have to let Zororka, that's what I'm going to roll with, let him back through. But actually he has lots of oversteer. We'll go to let him back through. A load of oversteer. We just take the move, take the position rather straight back, nice and easy. Veloce James as well in his lobby, as you see, they saw from the top there, doing purple laps. He's actually up in P1 as we managed to get the undercut beautifully on Mandar. Never know whether to call out the undercut or cutting back on him, but either way we managed to make it stick nicely up to P6 then. Skipping ahead to lap 3 now. We've got Fink or Fincy probably up next for P5. We're trying to sit nicely close to him, but lots of dirty air through the Magnus and Beckett section, and get a much better exit than him though, which is beautiful. We've got some DRS as well as it's lap 3, and he actually even gives us the inside line. I think he thought DRS, I'm going to get him anyway, but he does squeeze us a little bit. Go to the middle of the track so he doesn't make a dive bomb, but actually we end up running hugely wide. I think we break down our F1 point. That is not how F2 cars work. We're going to defend nice and early, unlike Max Verstappen. Going to stick a nice inside line to keep him to the middle of the track, down to second gear, and looks like he wasn't able to outbrake us on the outside there, so that move should now be done. Looking at him, he's not come back at us. No, he isn't. Run a little bit off track, but the move is now done up to P5. And that was the end of the race. There was a big gap to the cars ahead. Although, look on the results there, they did all get some penalties. But still, yeah, it wasn't enough to promote us. So P5 we ended in that particular race. Let's get into the next one. Here we go then. This is now Baku. This is bound to be carnage, isn't it? We've got Tiametmarduk just ahead of us on the left there. Veloce James just behind us. And once again, we get a much better start slicing through the inside of these cars. They all just tend to bog down. Someone was in the wall already there. I think that might have been Ben even. But someone out, or Cookie there, just taking out multiple cars. And we almost get spun very close to a bit of a tap. And just with the, I think it's with the online lag of this game, you just tend to get sent quite far when you do that. And again, everyone just stopped on the outside. Us taking a nice tight line braking nice and early. Managed to get up to P7 from P19 on the grid and make that P6. We get a nice good run on Zolot maybe behind us. David quit once again. We raced him a little bit in the last race, but he outbrakes himself, and once again 4 cars stuck around the outside. We end up in position 2 from 19th on the grid after just a single sector more or less, and we'll absolutely take that. Got to try perhaps game Zororka. We skip now ahead to the end of lap 2. Just managed to close the gap down and learnt the track a little bit more, learnt our braking points, and we're all on the outside of him now. It's very much wheel to wheel down this back straight then. Who's going to break the latest into the first turn? We do get a purple lap as well, and we break it almost exactly the same point. We're going to try and skim it around the outside here, but he actually tapped us a bit there. I think, to be fair to him, I think I might have squeezed him onto the curb and that pushed him wide. But we're now very close to him still, so we'll get some DRS down the next straight, I think, unless it was him. No, we do get DRS, but it's actually very slow. I think he might have, yeah, there we go, bit of lag. That is what happens in this game when the game loses connection to a driver briefly. It just slows them right down. Maybe potentially because we're on a low AI in this particular lobby, I'm not too sure, but costs us a lot of time. But anyways, get to the end of lap 3 now. We've got some DRS down the long straight, which enables us to get us nicely past. So hopefully if we can keep it nice and consistent. We had no idea where to brake there. We just sort of guessed. So stuck to the middle of the track, so I didn't want him to dive from us, but he's actually had a much better exit than us. He's going to try and go on the outside into the next corner, which is very, very brave. We want to keep it nice and tight, get hard on the power now, and open some... Oh, no, we're not going to open DRS, of course. He is going to get some DRS, so we're going to need to do some serious defending. Go to the inside nice and early then. We want to try and keep his position and try and pull away. We are definitely faster than him, but he's actually managed to make the move sit on the outside there. He's braked later than us. Bit of contact there. He squeezed us a little bit too much, but we actually got someone behind. Fapkozy is now actually joining us behind, so we've now got a three-way battle for the lead, but it's all calmed down for now, so we will now skip ahead to the end of lap 4, more or less. We've got him once again up ahead, and look, there's the icon, and once again he's managed to disconnect effectively for a couple of seconds, so this is costing us huge amounts of time. He's just so slow on the exit. We finally got the inside of him, which is just when he pings forward. So that just cost us an awful lot of time. We are faster than him, but he's done that a couple of times, and it is just pushing us further and further back from him. It's a little bit frustrating for us, but hopefully we should still get some DRS. We are certainly get some slipstream. Going to keep it absolutely flat through the high-speed wall section, which is easier said than done on an F2 car. You need to make sure you get a nice good line. We've got Fapkozy behind us now, and he's going to be up our inside, but we just mainly want the DRS from I don't know how to say his name, Zororka. A little bit of lag around us there. But all going to be very close coming to the first turn here. And the Fapkozy manages to outbrake us off the inside. But bit of contact. And that actually sends us all the way round into a spin. Bitterly disappointing. That was looking like such an epic battle. But sent us to the spin. Again, a little bit of lag. I think really just bounced us out there into a spin. Cost us time and pushed us down to P4. And that was it. Unfortunately, a bit of a gap. We do actually end up at P3 because Veloce James did end up with a penalty. But disappointing end to that one. But anyway, that will do. It was still very exciting up to that point. And let's move on to the next one. Here we go then. This is Brazil, Interlagos, another great track. Once again, same grid order. We've got Ben just ahead of us, Veloce James just behind us. All 5 lights are on and out they go. Then once again, try not to bog down too much. Looks like Ben managed to bog down a lot. A few of the cars ahead of us bogged down as well. We've got Veloce James inside of us there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But again, we're just being quite cautious up the inside here. We can see a couple of spinners just spinning in synchronization now on the outside. And just a little bit worried about these cars now. And bit of contact with the car ahead that causes us to send the rear end round a little bit. Huge amount of oversteer, unfortunately. And we've got both of them coming from inside, or have we? Don't really know where Veloce James is. He's got a little bit of lag. We're going to defend anyway. Have a think about going to the inside of Ben, but think better of that. We want to try and have a race-long battle ideally. And more spinners, more people running wide. And it's absolute carnage. There's people ahead of us. And oh no, they've just, oh my god, we've got absolutely sent. Plenty of spins there. Even get a penalty for the courtesy. And couldn't do a lot about that, unfortunately. Spun right in front of us again. No ghosting. Just kind of fair enough. They were kind of mid-spin at that point. But just we saw it too late to be able to do anything about it. But anyway, towards the end of the first lap now, this is a 3-lap race. So the last 2 races will just be 3-lappers rather than the first 2, which are 5-lappers. And we're going around the outside of Fincy rather. And unfortunately, he squeezed us out onto the grass there. That was not very fair. We were looking like we were going to have a good battle, and he just squeezed us all the way out as a car stopped on the outside up to P15. But to be fair to Fincy, you see here he does now let us back. I think he realised his mistake and let us back, and I just kind of do a little bit of a swerve. You might have thought it was an angry swerve, but actually that was a thank you swerve. Fair play to you, Fincy. And skip ahead now to the middle of lap 3 of 3. We've got Atterblade, and actually someone rejoining there. We just managed to drift around the outside of him, and we will certainly take that one. We're just trying to keep as close as we can to Atterblade. We're going to go with, and trying to get an exit, but he squeezes us a little bit on the exit. Fair enough. Tiametmarduk ends up with the fastest lap of the race, and of course it's a little bit of time on the exit. The man, he squeezed us there. Good racing by him. We are still at slipstream and some DRS. Can we overtake him before the line? We have got a 2-second penalty, but we'll ignore that for now. We're going to try and go on the outside of us. He squeezes us right to the outside. Can we make the move stick? We have got absolutely no idea, and I can tell you, despite my 2-second penalty there, and supposedly the game thinks that I was 4 tenths back from him when we crossed the line, which is clearly not the case. I looked at the replays, and I can tell you that the exact same frame that I overtook him was the exact same frame that we crossed the line. So I've got no idea who won there. We're going to call that a draw, and we're going to ignore our penalty. And let's move on to the next one then. And this is the biggie. This is Spa. This is a virtually unedited race because it's wall-to-wall action, wall-to-wall carnage. Off the line once again, we actually start ahead of Veloce James, ahead of Tiametmarduk this time. Ben kindly grants us 1 position extra on the grid. And just kind of trying to take it very cautious. We know this is going to be carnage. And oh no, that is just not worked in our favour. We ended up having to effectively stop really. And you see Ben ahead of us there, managed to cut inside of us and just overtake loads of cars. That's what we wanted to do, but We were just a little bit caught out by the guys all just having to brake for each other. End up only gaining, I think, 2 positions off the start, so not great. But I'm going to try and go on the outside of Cookie now and up the inside of Woomaloo, but I don't think he's quite seen us. And that costs us a bit of time having to go on the grass. And we've got Cookie coming back at us now. We actually managed to get back ahead of us. We have a look at the inside, but no, brake very early. Again, just being cautious here. We don't want to make any huge dive bombs. We don't want to spin. This is the race that we want to actually finally not spin and get a good solid result. And Cookie there just running very wide, which enables us to get hard on the power bit of wheel spin, but that manages to get us up ahead of him, but up to P15 now. And we've got some guys going very much side by side up ahead. Bit of contact, a lot of contact. And there's a car on the outside. That is Tiametmarduk. Unfortunately for him, his race is now over. Or is maybe not over, but he's certainly right at the back of the grid. And we are now up to P13 then. Oh, as for some reason, the guys were braking there. I don't really know why they were braking so early. Maybe they just didn't know the track layout well enough. But it cost us a bit of time. But luckily, we didn't spin or anything like that. P13 still will have a look at the inside of Woomaloo, but didn't quite work out as he actually makes a bit of contact with the guy. DeWald, Nell will go with, and Green Giant as well, rejoining the track. We're going on the outside of him too. 2 positions gained, lots of oversteer on the curb, but we managed to keep it all facing the same direction. And up to P11 now, and who's that running very, very wide? I cannot pronounce that name. I apologise to whoever you are. I'm not even going to try your name. And unfortunately, that cost us a bit of time down this straight. We just get a little bit compromised, weren't able to go up the inside of him during that particular corner. So we're going to let him go. Going to take some slipstream though. And we're going to see what we can do all over the curb though. And oh wow, complete opposite lock at about 280 kilometers an hour there. Some serious oversteer, and he's run a little bit deep there. We're going to try and go up the inside of him, which will become the outside to the next corner into this chicane. Going to try and get a good exit. He squeezes on the curb, bit of wheel spin, bit of wheel bashing, but we managed to get a better exit than him. Just about moves us up to P10 there. We're on the inside, I presume. We're going to be able to make that move stick nicely to the inside. Mind you, we've run very deep there, very deep indeed. This is a spinner rejoining that panic us a little bit with the amount of times that we've been hit by spun cars. But up to P9. Now he is all over the back of us, so hopefully he doesn't try and go the inside through Eau Rouge, which he doesn't. We keep it more or less flat as he's trying to go up our inside there, which is quite risky, but he's still very close behind us. No DRS yet, of course. You only get DRS on lap 3 of 3, but he is going to get a nice lot of slipstream. We're going to defend quite heavily. We want to try and keep his position if we can, but we've got absolutely no idea where to brake, which is what allows him to just fly around our outside. Fair play to him. He knew where to brake. We did not. And he went a little bit wide there. We're going to try and get the cut back on him. And we do manage to do that. Nice bit of contact with his rear end. Causes a bit of oversteer. But we get away with it. Look at his inside, but think better of that. He's run a little bit deep there, though. He's just sticking it nice and tight to try and avoid the dirty air. Up to P10 at the moment. And again, absolute carnage ahead of us there. 2 cars making big contact. And actually, they make more contact on the exit there, which allows us to gain another total of 3 positions from that corner. Although we're actually alongside Shadow at the moment. We need to try and keep it nice and tight so we can't cut back under us, which I think we've managed to do. Oh, wow. I say we managed to do, but he's all over the back of us. But actually touching us. In fact, he did touch us, as you can tell by my angry hand coming out of the cockpit. And again, just needs to keep it nice and tight here, and we should better make move stick on Shadow, which we do indeed. Lots of curb, though. Lots of oversteer. So he's not over yet. Actually, he's going to come on our outside. Still not got the move done. And more carnage. Oh, wow. He ghosted at the very last second. He's got another car here going very slowly. We're going to dive up the inside of him. And we managed to make that move stick. Is there? Nope, there's someone coming up our inside. That time I waited to say we made the move stick. We were up to P4 briefly. Back down to P5 now. We have got Shadow up ahead of us. All over his rear end now then. And lots and lots of slipstream. We take care to avoid that curb this lap. That did not treat us well last lap. We have a look up his inside. No, we're going to think better of that. Going to go around the outside, try and outbrake him, but no, it's not going to work. Try and cut back under him. Lots of oversteer, but we just couldn't take advantage because he had that oversteer directly in front of us. Oh, quite a lot of contact there. Dashami making a lot of contact. There's another car. Finzi, I think it was, having a little spin. And Dashami then managed to get through with a bit of wheel bashing. I'll look up the inside of him, but no, think better of that. Or is he going to? Yes, he is going to run very, very deep. All 4 wheels off the track as we give him a little bit of room to make sure he doesn't hit us on the way back. We managed to get that move back up to P4 now. We have got Shadow up ahead of us for P3, and I think looking on the minimap, P2 is an absolute mile away. So at the moment, we're just aiming for a podium. P4 at the moment, we want to try and get that podium. We need to be careful about track limits as well. So we will now skip to the end of lap 3. And here we go then, end of lap 3. We've got Shadow just ahead of us. Nice slipstream distance here. This is going to be very, very close for P3 for the podium paying positions. We need to just try and gain on him for the now, but I suspect he will defend the inside. He seemed to have pretty good racetrack craft previous lap. And he doesn't deep, but we absolutely dive around the outside and just hope for the best. Get it also down just about. Get the inside lane, but oh, he gives us no room. And actually we end up with a 2-second penalty anyway for exceeding track limit, which was incredibly harsh. But we had to try it, and he gave us not a lot of room, but again, fair enough. And oh, actually, we do end up with P3, just because it looks like he had a bigger penalty than us, so we end up just 2/10 ahead of him in P3. So we finish up then with a podium position. Well, that video was absolute carnage. I love racing these. I love commentating it. Do let me know if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.